Hi guys, this is Bhavna and you're watching India Today. I have the happy cast of the happy family with me. Conditions applied of course, but ये interview में कोई conditions applied नहीं है. Welcome firstly to India Today. I have Meenal, Atul, Kulkarni, Ayesha, Jhulka and Sana with me here. Firstly, a huge welcome. I have to tell you, love the trailer. I know you've been hearing this. अभी हर कोई आके ये बोल ही रहा है starting
We can still hear it.
But yeah, I mean, the more the better. I get it. But you know, what really struck a chord with me from the trailer, it is such a JD and Atish's like
World.
this is their world,
Yeah.
and we are familiar with the world. But what really makes it amazing for me, especially, is the fact that you sometimes say, I mean, it's a dysfunctional family in ways because you're constantly like trying to find a common
balance.
ground, which we all deal with. But what is the best way? What better than make it in a comedic environment for people to able to relate to it, right? And that is something I really like about this genre. But this is also very difficult because it's you can go either it can be very funny or it can be very dull. You know, I want to know as actors, how do you decide just basis the script when you get it? How do you decide whether this is going to work for you or not? What are the two things you look for in these kind of scripts for you to say that okay, I want to try this?
For me, two things you asked. First, of course, how it's written. When I read the script for the first time, I was absolutely in love with it. I never came across something like this ever in my life. And second thing also I want to see when I read a script that what impact my character is making in the story.
Right.
If that is relevant, then I want to do it. Screen space, kitna bada role hai, chota role hai, that is not my major concerns. For me, what is important is that how Tiska is impacting the story.
Right.
And
Yeah.
you know, and the quality of script, of course. So these two things are like my major
Okay.
things I want to look for in a good script, and it was all there. So of course, I yes.
What about you, Atul sir?
For me, it is how Aatish read the script. Because Aatish himself is a fantastic actor.
Right.
And he moves between the characters. When he starts reading the script, it is the most wonderful dramatic reading of,
Yeah, totally.
of the script. And I was sold the way he read the script to me. And that too, for the first time, was on Zoom.
Oh, this happened on Zoom. The entire reading.
Even mine
Initially, when he offered me the script, it was on Zoom, and it was long back when I think the second lockdown
Yeah,
was
yeah.
on. And all
Okay.
that. So that was the thing where I said, ki, yes, I am going to do this, come what may. Yeah.
But you're also, I mean, before I come to Ayesha ji, you're also someone who writes, right? Like, so when a script comes to you, how do, because I mean, if I am someone who also writes a lot of script, I judge it from a very different point of view. I mean, I believe that is how it would be. How do you see, what do you look for in a script? Because you are also writing somehow, and correct me if I'm wrong, at that time you were also shooting or were in the midst of shoot for another film. So how do you keep a fresh approach when a new script comes to you for an actor's part?
No, I have trained myself not to think about it as a writer. I never do that. The script comes to me as an actor, and I read it as or listen to it as an audience would see the film. Because that is how, if I am enjoying it as an audience, then I think I would enjoy doing it as an actor.
Right.
So that is my only that conditions definitely apply.
Conditions applied with that definitely. What about you, Ayesha ji?
So, definitely this is something that I wanted to do, but you asked me what are the two factors that made me do it. So, factor number one is Aatish Kapadia and factor number two is JD Majeethia. These are two very important factors that made me say yes, and there was no way I could have said no.
Also, this is your second collaboration. You continue it with Prime Video. Hashash, again, the character was so strong. Here, in ways, this character actually is a very strong character. So, is this like the approach going forward? You want to play characters which doesn't restrict you to a particular genre or a particular role. There are different arcs to it. Is that what you're looking for?
Yeah, I always keep saying that I am the adopted daughter of Amazon family. So, but I think that yes, one does look at a fresher approach to things, and a lot of times, you know, you don't do much, but yet you do a lot. So it depends on how, you know, people watch it and how everybody perceives it. But I think for me, this has been very different from my previous project, and it's very interesting because then it's completely the opposite. And I would like to do things which are very different from each other.
I must you were adding something?
No. When she was talking about Amazon family and all
he's
that.
also part of that family.
Yeah, and when this comes out, there is Digvijay from Bandish Bandits, who is a classical singer, singing Viraha. And then you have Ramesh.
Ramesh singing. You can't miss that. You can't miss that.
So I can already see the memes coming out.
So
with
he
Digvijay and
rehearsed it
Ramesh.
a couple of times before we, you know, he went ahead for the shot. We laughed every single time when he was rehearsing. Then they, of course, you go close, you go take master, there's a wide shot, this, that. Every shot, we were laughing as if we are listening to him for the first time. It is that funny.
I mean,
So-
what better way to even describe the entire experience that you have had shooting for this
On and
entire
off
series,
sets,
yeah?
both. On screen and off screen.
Sana, for you, what are the two things that you look for?
I think that the script, because when I heard it, when Aatish sir gave the narration to me or explained to me the character or this particular scene, I was genuinely laughing. Like even for my audition, I was just laughing more than like getting nervous about my audition. So that was something that really I felt like, hey, if this is what it's making me feel, I feel like this is something I want the audiences to feel as well. So for me, that really matters. What I'm trying to say or what I would want people to see or what I would enjoy watching. So that's one of the things I like is something I consider. And of course, the opportunity to work with the people that I got to work with, whether it was Aatish sir, JD sir, or it was Ratna ma'am, Raj sir, Atul sir, Ayesha ma'am, like the entire lot. And also the opportunity to work with Amazon, which is something I really wanted to do and look forward to, and the long format, because that's something I've never done before. It's my first long format. So yeah, that was the things that I considered.
Were you nervous on first day? Because like you mentioned, you had to work with Atul sir, Ayesha ji,
We all were
Ratna
nervous,
Pathak
yeah.
Shah.
I was very nervous because I was getting married at the same time.
Oh yeah.
Like
So she was nervous about that.
Actually,
Not
nervous
about
about
the
my
thing.
nervousness ka issue hai.
actually, I was not nervous about my marriage at all. I was nervous about the shoot because these guys had started shooting like 3 days
But we
before.
made you feel so comfortable.
Yes,
didn't we?
but please don't forget that Matheran, which was my first scare, was when you guys scared me that you're going to come and prank me in the night at my room. And I didn't know how to I was
Actually,
like,
we
and we were living in this, you know, Matheran has signal problems, or where we were living, because we were living in
there
this
was
really
there was no
sweet
network
property.
at all, and the
inside,
rooms were
and-
huge. You know that old school Haveli kind of a place.
So that was my first experience with all these people. But yes, that is the fact that they did make all of us feel like a family, and they were extremely like welcoming, and so the nervousness will always be there when you work with such senior great actors. You get to learn so much. But yeah, there is a comfort that they give you, and that I think I really appreciate.
You know what I also love about happy family conditions?
Sorry.
But I
I'm
absolutely
feeling like a teacher with a stick in the hand with a blackboard and chalk.
But-
Got to learn so much.
But you were a teacher for us, whether you wanted to be or not. We were learning just
it's
watching
just that
you.
I agree with Sana. What happens is when we are even looking at y'all perform, I think there's
Yeah.
something to take away from
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
So unconsciously, sahi, aap teacher ban
And
jate.
Like
to be
purposely
very
saying it
clear-
because now she is saying he wants more people to say
No, but
the
I'll
same
be
thing.
like
So you
really
said it
clear,
now.
at no point were they
That's what it is.
trying to teach us. You know, that is something also, that's I think how you actually learn when someone's not really trying to do, because they never would try to teach us or tell us what to do or how to do it at all. but just watching them, watching their approach to
Yeah.
things, watching them think
We had
in
a
certain
lot of
ways.
things to observe.
So that really is what
And
we learn
absorb.
from. So
Yeah,
the
yeah.
credit is ours. We were absorbing
Smarter.
what you were just.
Smart observers.
Yeah, you were
Okay,
just
next
putting it out there.
I love this.
You observe
Conditions
a lot
applied.
more.
Conditions
Conditions.
apply.
But I also feel that what is Aatish and JD's brand of humor, if I could say, is the fact that it's a lot of straight face comedy. Like they're saying the funniest of things while keeping a straight face, and you're just like, you take a pause and you're just like, oh my god, this is. So I want to know, and that is very difficult to pull
This
off again.
applied to Ramesh's character the most.
Yeah.
Actually,
I
in this
agree.
show.
I agree.
That's true.
No, but how do you approach, because comedy in general is changing globally as well, the way people are perceiving it, the reactions to it,
Yeah,
the
you
feedback
don't
to
have
it,
to tickle people to laugh.
yeah,
It's
no,
just
the concept of
situation
it is
should.
changing.
Yeah.
So do you keep that in mind whenever something like this comes to you? Because it can either go, like I said, go completely right or left. And we have seen examples, especially in the last 1 year, where attempts have been made and it has failed miserably. So how do you look at that aspect?
I think again it comes to the director, and because here the writer and the director is
Right.
the same, of course, with JD, Aatish is the director, and of course he has written it.
Right.
I think because of his rigorous training in theatre, doing different kinds of, handling different genre, that gives him the sense of timing. But in front of camera, it is much more difficult than theatre,
Right.
because here the timing has to be with editing, with shots, with your music and everything. In theatre, it is just actors, and it is
Yeah.
much easier
Yeah.
to achieve that timing. In front of the camera, I think the director has to be at the top of it and has to have the final product
In mind, yeah.
in his or her mind.
Yeah.
And Aatish has that.
Right.
And that practice of so many years now, for last 30 years, I am watching him doing all these things as an actor, as a writer, as a director. So I think it definitely depends on the creator, on the writer and the director. And we had the best choice in this particular genre, as you said.
Like for Ayesha, I think what is also amazing is that you get to play your age. You don't have to cater to it. You get to play characters which are very similar to what you are and what your state of mind is at the moment. Is that a refreshing change? Because I don't think this was the case, say even 5 years back. I think it's slowly and gradually changing today. For someone who has just made a comeback, if I may say, I'm not saying it in a wrong way, but comeback. Do you see this as a refreshing change?
Of course, it is a refreshing change, and the best part is that through OTT and through these various platforms, we do have the opportunity to play our age, to be where we are. We don't have to prove ourselves younger or older,
Yeah.
unless the character demands it. But I think that it is a refreshing change because we are accepted as who we are
Yeah.
in terms of age or experience. Also, with all the experience that is behind us, we try to put everything together and portray in a character like this. And so I think it's a refreshing change.
Right. On a parting note now, from both of you, I want to know, Meenal and Sana, that what is your biggest takeaway or learning? Because I believe that you are the youngest on the set
Right.
as well.
Yeah.
What is your biggest takeaway from the entire experience? Because I'm sure this is going to continue. There will
Sure.
be seasons
Yeah,
to this.
yeah, yeah.
So
We
till
hope
now.
so. We all hope so.
Yeah, yeah. I feel my biggest takeaway, there's no biggest, there are too many takeaways. I've taken too many things from the set.
What all have you picked up?
I was just
no
I was
trying to
trying
find out that golden ring.
I remember that whole
find-
pizza we ordered. I
Yeah.
took that thing away.
I couldn't find
All the cakes
so
we
many
were
things
ordering,
from
I
the
took
set.
that away.
You thief!
So whatever nice chandelier we had, I took that away. And
These
stuff.
are all
on a
our
serious
takeaways.
note now.
So yeah, I think
How can we be serious in a happy family?
Conditions apply.
Those are not serious
I
conditions.
observed a lot. There was so many things. The timing, comedy is a
Yeah.
difficult thing.
Yeah, it is.
And to listen when your co-actor is delivering a dialogue and you know your lines, but you still have to listen. That thing, you just say it, But then by doing that process, I realized that I used to think that I'm listening, but actually I was not listening 100%. Now let me really listen, and then I saw the change, the impact it makes. So that was something I really learned from all my senior co-actors. Awareness, focus, preparation in lines. Even if there is an improvisation, how you deal with it, how you see yourself as that character, and not like, it's so important for me on set to think as Tiska and never think as Meenal.
Yeah.
That is very important. And when you kind of settle down after a few shots, you have a lunch break, then you have this break, that break, there's so much space and scope to just come out from your character and start behaving the way you are. And then when you do a scene, you realize, no, you come back to Tiska and start thinking. So I think that I really absorbed from all my co-actors, looking at them, and I took that
Yeah, lovely.
for
She
myself.
said everything. What am I supposed to say now?
No, you talk about that. You just told everything.
The pillow cover which you took. Oh yeah, right, my pillow cover. No, but like, so yeah, everything she said, that's true completely. And I had the same experience. I took all of that. And I think the one thing I can add, which maybe I thought of because I was thinking, what am I going to say, was that I think I really learned by watching the senior actors, by listening to Aatish sir, to find the gaps, which is something I think I was not really doing, to find the gaps, to find your moments. Because when you're working in such a, with such an ensemble, and every character having so much potential and so much is happening, as I'm sure you can see in the trailer, that you have to really be able to find your space, and just as your character find your space, and then that will take you don't have to really be in front of the camera for it. You just need to be honest to your character and yourself. So I think that is something I kind of learned from
all of them. But on that note, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I hope that there are more and more seasons, because that also means that it is going to be loved by everyone.
Yes.
And
we also hope there are more.
Yeah.
I would
more.
just say that, for any family, especially when we talk about the Dhulakiyas, one thing you will definitely notice, that when the roots are deep, we don't fear the winds at all.
wow, on that note, thank you so much, and all the very best for that.
Thank you.
Thank you.